Good evening and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. Now, as we all know, times aren't easy, and especially now as we're heading towards Christmas, people are looking for ways to save money. So my show tonight will show you how you can be creative about saving on the pennies. My guests tonight are Michelle Nicholson, author of the online blog Being Creative, and Piper Terrett, frugal living writer and financial journalist. Later on in the show, we'll also have our regular fashion advice from Lisa-Marie. So if you want to take part at any point to give your views, you can tweet Chrissy B Show, you can Facebook the Chrissy B Show, or you can also call if you want 020-7686-6300, and of course you can email chris@chrissybshow.tv, and Emile will be here to read out your emails as well. But first, let's get straight to our first guest, and that's Michelle Nicholson. Good evening, Michelle.
Good evening, Chrissy.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
So great to see you. I know you've got lots of interesting things on the desk there, on the table, which you'll be showing us in just a bit. So tell us, first of all, what do you actually do?
I write a blog called Being Creative about how to live well on less, which is very popular, I'm finding, and I'm really enjoying it. Has
it got more popular sort of recently, or has it always been?
I've noticed that it's got much more popular as times have got, as we've had the economic downturn, shall I say.
Okay. Yeah. And what is actually being thrifty? What does it mean?
I think, to me, I looked this up in the dictionary to make sure I'd absolutely got this right, that it's the dictionary definition is economical management. So it's not really about sackcloth and ashes and being tight with your money and mean and scrimping and whatever. It's more about...
That's what you kind of think of, isn't it, when you hear the words?
It is. Yeah. And I try to develop what somebody's, not my phrase, it's from another lady called Rebecca Ash, an air of elegant frugality. It's not really about how you look, it's about thinking, instead of what can I spend my money on, what can I not spend my money on, so that I can save up for something that I really want instead.
Yeah. Now, I know people waste a lot of money, they buy things they don't need, they waste food, for example, which we'll be talking about later as well. So what kind of things do you do in your own household that saves you money and, you know, prevents you from spending unnecessarily?
In my own house, I tend to think, if I go shopping, I write a list. Some people will argue with that and say, no, you shouldn't, you shouldn't write a list, you should go with whatever. I will go with a list, and I will buy just the things I want. Perhaps if something is on a particular offer one week, so butter might be on an offer, it might be, I don't know, 90p off, so I will stock up on that one week. Another week it might be washing powder, so I'd save and buy some on that. And managing things carefully like that so that you can save money, but that you've got money over for things that you may see as well, that you like.
How did you actually get into writing the blog, though?
It came about because I was doing a full-time job. I worked as a library manager, and then the work was becoming more intensive. The school was moving to a new site, and they were saying to me, can we have your views on this? Can we have your views on that? I used to do an end-of-year play with children that I used to help with, and that came on in the December at the end of one year. And then, just as I feel that I'm really, really working hard, my father died unexpectedly.
Oh, gosh.
And I felt as if it was really, really hard to manage. And we talked about giving up work, but inevitably you think, how can we manage on less money? We decided, having had some counselling, and the counsellors came back to me and he said, it's up to you, but stress kills. And that was a real wake-up call, and you think, actually,
people can survive on much less.
They can survive.
They think they can't because they're so used to certain kind of lifestyle.
Absolutely.
But then just little sort of savings here and there just mount up, don't they?
Yes.
You actually can.
That's right. And then I started thinking, well, if I was going to have a life without that sort of work anymore, the things that I was going to start doing, living a simpler life and inevitably spending less because there was less income, I wanted to record it and started writing a blog, really just at first.
You share all your secrets.
That's right, people. Really just at first for my own satisfaction. And then I realised there were people out there who wanted to read about it and were responding and saying, we like this, can we have more of the same? The viewing figures, if you like, were going up. And I thought, why not?
Okay, so you brought along a few things here. Can you talk us through some of them?
I have.
So, yep.
One of the sections of my blog, I have several, but one of them is called Handmade, because I think it's really, really nice to be able to make things for people. You're giving them original gifts that you've made yourself.
Especially with Christmas coming up.
Absolutely. You can tailor them to the person that you're giving them to. So you can give them something if they like. So we've got, shall I start with the truffles? We've got some lovely homemade truffles here today, which Chris is going to taste one of these in a minute. They were very, very reasonable to make, as well as being delicious. We were talking on the way here about how much it would cost you to buy a box from, we'll not do any companies down here, we'll just say an expensive chocolatier. And to make something like that, I could have made about 40 something of them for about £3.
Really? How much do they cost in the shops? I've never bought them before. How much
I don't know. We were saying that in certain
places
they would be sort of £6.99, £10 for a for a big box.
That's really good. And you can put them in a nice little gift box or something.
You could have a gift box. You could save a chocolate box that you've had.
We're going to eat them right now. Can you see that? They look lovely. The icing on top.
You could save a box that you've had, and you could cover it in wallpaper, in wrapping paper, in colours that you know your recipient likes, that sort of thing, and you will save yourself money on there. The scarf I knitted for my husband, bless his heart, to keep his neck warm on his long journey from work. Knitted it for him, and it's got a little story. The scarf, it's 1.5 metres long, and the pattern came from the Woodland Trust, who designed it to be 1.5 metres long because that is the length of a standard British hug in which trees are measured. Ancient trees are measured. And you can go out to forests and you can take your scarf and you can wrap it round the tree.
Because you do that kind of thing normally, wouldn't you?
Of course. If it was an oak tree and it was 3 scarves long, it would be an ancient tree. And the Woodland Trust are looking to people to find things like that and let them know about it so that they can, preserve them in the way which they should be preserved.
How long did it take you to knit that?
It probably took me a couple of weeks of doing it in an evening and that sort of thing.
But it's a nice gift as well, isn't it? Because that sort of time and love has gone into it as well.
That's right. And it is made of wool because we used to keep sheep, and so we're big British wool supporters. We like to.
Oh, you used to keep sheep, okay.
We did. So that was just.
The plot thickens.
That was just that. The little cosy.
I love this. Oh, this is so
Everybody
cute.
loves this.
When I saw this,
can we see that?
Our producer asked if it was an apple warmer. It's not an apple warmer. Would you like to explain to everyone what it is, Michelle?
It is to stop your little apple getting bumped in your lunchbox.
It's so cute.
I made one of these
for my... I want to eat it after that. I just want to sort of keep it there. And
I made one of these for my niece Lily, and she takes it in her lunchbox every day. So I think that is quite sweet. I'd never crocheted before. And it was something that I sat with the pattern and I thought, I am not going to give up until I have learned to crochet this. And within an hour, I'd sort of got the hang of it. And I sat there crocheting away. So it's not hard. That's another thing I want to stress. A lot of the things that I've brought on today are not hard. They are easy for people to make.
And you can even learn. You can just look up on YouTube or something, a video on how to do these
That's right. On how to crochet, you will find that on YouTube and that sort of thing.
I have a friend that's crazy about crochet.
And there are recipes on my website. There will be one quite shortly for making truffles in the run-up to Christmas. We've also got a little brooch. This is made out of felt. Don't know whether we can see that one. And all it's made of really is 2 pieces of felt sewn with a stiffener inside, made from milk cartons, the white plastic milk cartons that you get every day and you throw in your recycling. And that's to keep it nice and stiff in the middle, not like cardboard, which would bend, with just a little brooch pin on the back. And basically some tiny seed beads sewn onto the front. Again, very simple to make.
Cost to make?
50p,
really?
£1, something like that.
Yeah.
And you could personalise it.
So cute.
You could make it in the shape of somebody's name. Like if I'd had time, I would have done one with a C for Chrissy and embellished it and brought it on. Afraid I ran out of time before we did it.
I'll hold you to that with my Christmas present.
They are. Thank you. They are very simple to make. What else have we got? A card. That's done simply with rubber stamps. I think I got mine from a company called the English Stamp Company. The stamps themselves are not cheap to buy.
Wow.
The stamps themselves are not cheap to buy initially. You've got your initial outlay, but once you've got it, you can change your ink pads, and you have the stamp, and you can dab the ink onto it before you press it on, so it's not squidging everywhere.
That's really nice, that is.
The only thing was with that, I made it too big. It was when they brought in the system with the post office of doing size of cards now. So I made those and then found they all had to be sent first class with large letter stamps, which was such a silly mistake. So if you're going to make them, do measure it first to be smaller than the large letter stamp size, because otherwise they are really expensive. And that was just to show that you can make a very simple envelope just to put round the outside there and just fold it over. Hang on, I've got it the wrong way round. And you glue your sides.
So something like this would mean more to me than the shop bought one.
Absolutely.
Because it's just the care that's gone into it. And okay, obviously for the person that's making it, they're saving money, but I would prefer that.
That's right. I think
unique.
We're all short of time. Everybody's got the same 24 hours in a day. If you're giving somebody that handmade item, you're giving them the gift of your time that it's taken to make it. And I think that's really, really valued.
That's lovely. Okay, and what's in the jars there?
Oh, in the jars. In the jars is jam. I'll pick up the blackcurrant one first, because this is made from our own blackcurrants. Oh, I made little labels on it as well. They've been done with but they're curling under the lights.
It's hot under here.
This one is blackcurrants. I picked all the blackcurrants for that jam myself. It might seem a really sort of strange, you can. Do you want me to open it and you?
All right.
Or you have a go.
Let me try
we'll see which is
I'm really
toughest.
used to opening
Toughest
jars.
with the.
Oh,
there you are.
So your husband loosened it, didn't he?
Pre-released, he did. It's got a wax disc
Yeah.
on the top because that seals it in. So you'll be able to have a little taste of that afterwards.
Okay, definitely. You know me, everybody, don't you? Wow. That's also a nice gift. You can put that in some nice sort of paper.
Absolutely,
and
you can put a little paper hat
hamper,
around
you can
the
do a little
top.
hamper with all these little things in. So nice. I'm getting excited.
I send my in-laws are in their 80s, and my mother-in-law used to make all her own jams, chutneys, everything else. Now her eyesight is not so good now, so we make her about 50 jars of things throughout the year: chutneys, sauces, jams, marmalades, and it is the most fantastic present because they can eat it all year. They can go, and my father-in-law says he's going on an adventure, and he goes up to the loft to have a look and see which jar he's going to have next. So this one's a spicy blackberry one. Shall I? Oh, this might be one we can't get. Oh no, we can get the top of that one as well. There we go.
These look so nice. It's making me want my toast that I normally have before the show, my toasted tea. That smells lovely.
We'll have to send you home with it and have a toast afterwards. There we are.
So we're going to have a fight in the studio about who gets the jam.
That's right, about who gets the jam and the truffles.
Let me show you also, we've got some pictures as well that, to show the viewers of things that you've made. So let's take a look at those as well. Do you know, some of these we've seen. Okay, talk us about that little, hang on a minute. Don't get to talk about the first one. Thank you. Right, we've seen the brooch and we've seen the, I'm going to call it the apple woman now because she's got it in my head. So tell us about the other things that are on there.
The card at the top was a pop-up card. That was made again for my niece Lily some time ago now, I think. It was just a very simple thing to make in terms of just having the card, and you cut slots in it and you push the card the other way then, and it literally pops up, so you can stick things to it, and it holds it proud. It's really quite an interesting thing to do. Okay, they've gone again. Now we're on to cakes. At the top, on the top left-hand side, we've got blueberry muffins. The recipe for that is on the website. The Being Creative triangle of cakes on the other side.
Muffins cost about £1 to buy. The cheaper
muffins
like you get from the supermarket.
Yes.
So there's quite a bit of saving on there as well.
Yes, I don't know actually. I'm just thinking about. They do.
They
you have to eat them quite quickly. I mean, here's the hard part. You have to eat them quite quickly after you've made them because they don't keep. Could freeze them. I haven't tried freezing them.
Yeah, I freeze things sometimes. I buy in bulk and I just freeze things.
Yes, no, they are lovely to do that with. And then we had meringues and things as well, but they've gone. Oh, here we are. We're back with other things. The stripy beetroot is a variety. Can you see it? It's stripy beetroot. It's in the top right-hand corner there. With the pink and white, my favourite colours. It's called Barbabietola di Chioggia, and I was told how to say that properly by the allotment holder next to me, who is authentic Italian. So I had to be Barbabietola. That's Barbabietola, apparently, and it means beard beet. Which, if you think about the shape of a beetroot, it has a little beard, doesn't it, at the bottom? So that's
that's quite good. Are they in the oven or are they sweet?
They were to go in the oven. Unfortunately, when you cut into them, if you cut into them across, they have circles radiating outwards, and they're beautiful until you cook them. And then the colour goes. So that's why I photographed them in the oven tray before they went in, because they looked so lovely. Good as well, though. They tasted very, very nice.
Okay. So how does your family feel about you sort of doing all these things and being thrifty? Are they into it as well? Or they're like, oh, Mum, you know?
I think they quite enjoy it now. I think there've been times when it's, oh gosh, you know, we've got no money. Mum's got no money. She can't come and do this, that, and the other. My husband is one of those really useful people that can do all sorts of things. So he knows how to operate a chainsaw and things, so he can help manage the orchard that we've got and things like that. My younger daughter is Mrs. Bargain, because she's always going out and looking for bargains, and she'll email me or ring me and say, I've got such and such a thing cheap. My older daughter, she's
following in your footsteps.
Hopefully she's following in my footsteps, because she really, really enjoys baking. She's got quite a stressful job, and as an antidote to her stressful job, she gets the scales out and the rolling pin things, and she gets baking, and she's becoming really very proficient, and I'm very, very proud of her key lime pie that she was making before we came out.
Your blog as well then.
Absolutely, I think so. I told her I'd take a photo of that and I'd feature it.
Okay, so for people that think, oh, you know what, I don't have time to do all this, I don't have time to save money, or I don't want to be labelled as someone that's skint basically because I'm trying to be thrifty, what would you say to them?
I would say, have a think about it again. If you look on the internet, there are quite a number of blogs on there now. Mine, Piper, who's coming on in a minute, is another one. It's becoming a huge thing now because people are finding times difficult. Yeah. And what is the worst thing that people are going to think about you? You know, if they're going to think, oh, she's a bit of a Scrooge, you can say, well, hang on, look what I've got.
Exactly. I'm giving you some gifts as well.
That's it. You've frittered all your money on this, that, and the other, and I've been able to buy this thing or that thing because I saved up for it and I was careful.
That's true. Okay, so you're going to stay with us, Michelle, for the second part as well. Piper's also going to be joining us. That's Piper Terrett with some more thrifty tips. So join us after this break. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show. Now we're joined by Piper Terrett, a financial journalist and frugal living writer. Good evening.
Good evening,
Thanks
Chrissy.
so much for joining us as well.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now, I know this is a subject that's really interesting to our viewers, I think to everyone, because everyone wants to save money, even though they say they don't have to, but a lot of people do. So tell us a bit about your background, first of all.
Okay, well, basically I'm a financial journalist. And I've written about lots of different sort of aspects of finance. I used to write about investing, do share tips and things like that. I used to write for the Investors Chronicle. And then in 2007, I decided that I wanted to have more time to do creative writing. You know, I fancied myself as a new PD James, or I haven't really quite got there yet. But so what I did was I went freelance, and I realised that I was going to I was going to be working from home and that I'd be living on a much smaller budget.
Yeah.
So that's where the idea for my blog, The Frugal Life, came about.
Was it quite scary, sort of giving up a job and then?
Well, it was, and you know, I mean, it was sort of before the days when you know, nowadays it's even more of a scary prospect. But yeah, it was quite nerve-wracking. And we started the blog. The blog was on MSN for 4 years, on msn.co.uk.
Oh, great.
And we started it actually the week of the run on Northern Rock. And then everything just seemed to get worse from then on. And it was, you know, like
it was great for the blog.
Popular. It was really good, yeah.
Oh well.
Not so good for everybody else.
Okay, so now, how did you find the transition then from working, having that income, and then now obviously being on a budget? Did you do that quite quickly, or how was it?
Well, it was hard because I'm an Essex girl. I come from Essex. You know, I don't have the fake tan and the Prada handbag, sadly, can't afford it. You know, but I did like, I wasn't a big spender, but I did like things like eating out. My husband and I love to eat out.
Yeah,
and just being able to buy clothes when he wanted to and not sort of worry. But no, it was quite sort of quite a transition. It was sort of managing your money and thinking about what you're spending. Yeah, it's quite difficult.
Tell us some of the things that you do then yourself and some tips that you can give our viewers.
Okay. Well, I think one of the really important things to do, especially for women, because I think different generations have grown up with different attitudes to money and feeling that you need to rely on your husband to do things. And obviously that with women's liberation, it's just we have far more choices now. But I think getting control of your finances, really looking at those bank statements, opening the bills and not being afraid of doing that. It's
amazing
really
how
important.
many people don't actually know what's coming in and what's going out. That's that's really bad because you really need to know what's happening, don't you? Some people don't, they're scared or they just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually talking. There was a lady interviewing me recently who's a journalist, and she was writing these series of articles called "Fear of Finance" because she was actually terrified of looking at her bank statement. Pathologically, so that to the point where she would just have the bills sitting there and she wouldn't open them. And she'd make her husband.
There's probably a name for it, isn't it? It's probably a phobia of some
sort. I think
it
must be.
There must
be. Phinophobia. I don't know what. It must be something Greek. Yeah, I don't agree. But yeah, so that that's really important, and just sort of looking at your outgoings. outgoings and getting grip. And the thing is, because some of us bank online nowadays, you can dip in and have a look and see what your outgoings are any time. You don't have to wait for those bank statements to come in. So doing that is something that my mother taught me to do when I was a student. Well, my mother's very good with money. Much better than me, actually, far better than me. And she used to tell me, you know, when you're living away from home for the first time and you've got your own sort of budget and things, have a little booklet, just those little money booklets you can get from Smith's or wherever, or just do it on your computer, and write down every single thing that you spend. Maybe do it for like 2 weeks, and then you quite quickly get a grip of even just the silliest thing like chewing gum or that latte that you've bought. Just to get a kind of and you start to see a pattern, and you can start to see whether maybe things that you're overspending on every week, and then you can by getting a grip of that, you can kind of change your behaviour. And I found that every so often I'll go back and I'll start doing it again if I feel like
it's a good idea, isn't it?
Lost track. Yeah.
Do you know what I did recently actually? Because I was trying to work out how much my husband and I spend on like buying hot drinks and stuff. And it was quite a bit in the month. So what we did, we just went to the cash and carry, bought the same cups and mugs and things that they use in the coffee shops, and I worked out the price to make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee was about 10p, as opposed to like £2 or £3 that you're spending. So we just use that if we're like leaving from home, we just make one from home and we just take with us, which is saving us like quite a bit of money every month. So.
And it's probably greener because, you know, you've probably got a little carrier thing that you're, like a little thermos or whatever, or something a bit more glam than a thermos, that you're carrying your coffee around in, rather than the packaging as well, you know. So
well, actually, what's the packaging? I've got it from the cash and case. That's the never mind. Oops, I'm sorry. I don't like the taste from the from the thermos.
Fair enough.
Tell us about the orchard as well that you've got.
Oh well, I think you're a very lucky lady who has the orchard. But well, we have an allotment. My husband's just taken an allotment where we moved house from Essex last year to Hertford, so it'd be sort of easier for my husband to get to work. We sold a house, and I'm slightly heartbroken because we had this really big garden. My husband's really into his gardening.
So was this your?
Yes. This is our old garden in Billericay in Essex, and that's his greenhouse in the background. There's sweet corn growing there.
Green fingers there.
Yeah, he likes to grow things in the flower beds. It's sort of potager style. But yeah, this is the new allotment. He's just taken it on. So he's just been clearing it, so it doesn't sort of look much now. And that was in our old garden. So
you can save quite a lot of money by growing your own stuff.
Well, you can do. You have to be quite canny about it, though. You have to do things like making your own compost, so having composting bins and putting things from the kitchen in there. And also we keep chickens, so we have the chicken poo and things. Yeah, free range eggs. Well, the girls are on sabbatical at the moment, so we're not really, they don't really. There's Marmalade there, actually. That's Marmalade. She's an Orpington. Wow. She's got a lot of love to give.
Massive.
She's a big girl.
She's huge, isn't she?
I'd like to say it's all feathers, but that would be lying.
How much do the chickens actually cost to buy?
Well, it depends.
Not frozen or anything. I don't know about chickens.
Well, the hybrids, which are a lot smaller than Marmalade, they can be sort of £10 to £15.
Oh, but imagine the savings on the eggs and stuff that you.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I mean, obviously you've got to buy the feed and things, and buy something for them to live in. But then you can make that. You can make them a house. They've got quite.
I'd love to have chickens if I had a garden.
They're great. They're really, really great. You just got to be careful about foxes. We've lost quite a few to foxes over the years. But Marmalade, I think, was sort of 20, 25 quid because she's a big girl. She was a big girl even then, really. But yeah.
Oh, bless. So you've also written a book, The Frugal Life: How to Spend Less and Live More. I was just flicking through, and something like really kind of, there's some really nice points in here, and I really like this one. Let me see if I can find it now. If, like me, you're a huge dessert fan, then why not do what my friends and I did as students and just go out for desserts? There's something very decadent about going to a restaurant and simply ordering a nice big cheesecake or banoffee pie. Plus you get the feeling that you've been out, but you'll only have paid around £5 for the privilege. Now that is something I never thought of doing, because when I go out I normally buy my starter, my main and my dessert as well. Although I have one of those cards that you buy 2 for 1, the taste card, which saves quite a bit. But I mean, that's such a good idea, because you just have a meal at home, and but if you fancy going out, you just have dessert. That's a great idea.
Yeah, we used to do it when I was a student, because obviously we were skint. So we used to go to a place around the corner that did fantastic banoffee pie, and we used to go in there and have it. And probably as students, we probably shared, like one slice of it or something, and the people in the restaurant were there going, oh God, I wish they'd leave.
Okay, tell us about some other things in the book then. Some other tips that you've got.
Yeah, well, I mean, what else? I mean, so we've talked about sort of looking at your finances and trying to get a grip of them. I mean, other things, there's lots of things that you can do around your food shopping. I mean, some of them people probably already do. Like you talked already about, Michelle, about writing, having a shopping list. I mean, what I always do is have the shopping, have a little pad in the kitchen. As soon as something runs out, write it down. I try and look in the cupboards before I go shopping, so that I'm not buying things that I don't need. Trying to resist, those sort of, sometimes the bog off offers in the supermarket. Sometimes they're great, but sometimes if you're buying things that you don't really need or things that are not going to keep, then, you kind of need to measure up whether it's a good idea. Not obviously, when you're shopping, not going when you're hungry, because then you'll buy too many things that because you're kind of buying snacks. Sometimes, I mean, it does vary with different supermarkets, but you can go, if you go shopping sort of 5 o'clock in the evening, that's quite often when they start to discount things, and you can go and have a look. I mean, even in posh places like Waitrose, they do it.
They do.
And you'll see all the people sort of gathering.
You just got to know the time to go, don't you?
Yeah, not everybody can. And also sort of often the most expensive products are at eye level. So you need to kind of look up and down the shelf and see the cheaper things.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're smart, these supermarkets, aren't they?
It's true. And something else that I do as well is sometimes what I do at the end of a shop is I'll look through my trolley and see if there's anything that I don't really need and I've just put in there because I'm hungry or
that's good.
I've been tempted by, and then put it back.
Okay, what about clothing and stuff like that? Do you how
well, I try and avoid going to sort of shopping malls and things like that, because I did find I'm an Essex girl. I'm not crazy about clothes, but every girl likes new clothes. You like the feel of the new outfit. But I just try and stay away from clothes shops, and if friends want to go out, I'll try and do things that avoid going, so that we're doing something else. And really, I think it's funny. I've just started a teaching job, actually, lecturing at a university, and some of the girls there were had gotten to do this exercise talking about their hobbies, and so many of them were talking about how shopping was a hobby. And I just think you need to find something else to do.
Doesn't count.
It doesn't count. It's not. So sometimes I think it's, that kind of consumerism that a lot of us have in our lives is taking the place of real things to do. So you're finding other things. And the other thing I like to tell people to do as well, and try and do in my own life, is downsize your hobbies. So maybe you do something at the moment, I don't know, say you like going to the theatre or going to see shows and concerts, and it's quite expensive. Think of a way that you can kind of downsize it so that you can do something similar but that's slightly less money. So maybe if you like the theatre, perhaps you could join an Amdram club, even if you didn't want to act and you were sort of behind the stage, or go and see local bands in the local pub rather than see Madonna for 100 quid.
In London there's loads of things to do in London, isn't there?
So many things,
free as well.
Loads of things to do for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just asking about the clothes as well, because Michelle, can you tell us about your outfit that you're wearing today as well?
Oh, right. What I tried to do was put an outfit on today which illustrated all the different places that I buy things when I buy. So I started off, I shall have to lift my boot up. Okay. It looks a bit indecorous. Here is my boot.
Can we see that?
and my cardigan, which I got from a tabletop sale, which is the modern version of a jumble sale. We were just saying before the show.
Does it sound better?
Does it sound better if it's on a tabletop?
Yeah.
The cardigan is from Bowden. It is pure cashmere.
Really?
Stunning.
They are between, somewhere I looked at different catalogues, between about 89 and £100.
Yeah, they are,
30p.
You're joking.
From a tabletop sale 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So if you're going to go to something like that, you have to go quite early, because if it's a regular one, there will be people coming in
they know
they're going to get good things, so they come early. So I wait an hour and a quarter each Tuesday for this tabletop sale. But you get in first and you get the cashmere cardigans. Yeah. And then I've got a scarf, which I got from a charity shop. Obviously, you can pick up all sorts of things from charity shops, but I always have a little notebook that's got measurements of things in. So if there are things I'm looking for, I might have the measurements in the notebook, so that I think, right, I'm not going to go in there and buy something which is just an impulse buy, like Piper was saying, going and buying something and thinking, right, this is something I need. Actually, I'm cheating, aren't I, on the scarf, because it probably wasn't something I needed, but I do try and do that. And then well, you could keep, if you're buying things at 30p or whatever, you could keep on buying loads of them. And what I think Piper is saying, and I tried to say on my blog as well, is that is that more is not necessarily happier or better.
Exactly.
You can actually have less, like just the dessert or your cashmere cardigan for 30p, which is more really rather than less. It's just a different way of looking at it.
And then you feel proud of yourself as well.
You feel proud of yourself because you've resisted. And then I bought the trousers from a Bowden sale. So again, you're having something that's a good make. Sometimes if you buy cheaper things, they don't look good for very long. So your cost, if you think of it as a cost per wear, if you buy something cheap, it goes through the wash a couple of times, it looks rubbish, it's quite expensive cost per wear. So you get more cost per wear out of something which is good quality that you bought in a sale.
Lovely. Okay, before we go to another bit, let's just get some comments from Amelia as well.
Hi, we've got a comment here from Maria from Enfield. She gives us some tips on how she saves money. In order for me to save money, I had to open a savings account in which I could not take money from. With my other account, I had a habit of dipping into it, and by the end of the month, I had nothing left. I hated that feeling. Now I can manage my money wisely. We've got another one from Joyce from Catford. She also shares with us how she saves money. She says, there are many things we can live without. From the moment I started separating my wants and needs, I was able to save a lot more money. Sometimes I would buy things I didn't need, but I just bought them because most of the time when I go shopping, I'm easily convinced by many things, especially by the sales advisors. They make you feel like if you don't buy it, you'll miss out. I have been able to save a lot more money this year.
That's great. So yeah, we have to identify sometimes. We think we need something when we don't really need it. We
Wants
want
and
it.
needs really important.
Although it's okay every now and then, though, isn't it? We have to sort of treat ourselves
You've
sometimes.
got to treat yourselves. Like you
Yes.
said, you can't, it's not,
That's
I mean,
right.
frugal living, thrifty living is not about living miserably on
No,
a 9p
absolutely
tin
not.
of baked beans or
No,
like you were talking
that's
about
right.
wearing sackcloth and ashes.
Yes.
It's about making sacrifices in some
Yeah.
areas, you know, to put that money towards something else. And I always think with frugal living, I mean, obviously at the moment, a lot of people just have to live like this because they have no choice and they've lost their job or whatever. But it's great if you can have a goal at the end of it and you can put that money towards something else. Or mean that, you know, like the lifestyle choice that you've made, that you've got more time to do other things and your life is less stressful.
definitely.
So,
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Ladies, we've come to the end, and so I've got my eye on the truffles because I think we need to try some. I didn't want to do it early because I don't want to get chocolate all over my teeth and then be smiling at you. So we're just going to go to a break now. Thank you, ladies, so much for all the advice. That's really great, and the details will be up on the Chrissy B website, chrissybshow.tv as well, so if you want to read their blogs and get more help from them as well. And after the break, we're also going to be joined by Lisa-Marie, who's going to be showing us some tricks with some outfits. You don't have to spend loads on clothes. You can sort of rewear things, but she'll tell all about it. So see you after this break, and we're going to eat the truffles. There you go. Help yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, you can go. You don't have to watch us. You can go to break. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, and now we are joined by the lovely Lisa-Marie, who's also going to be showing us how we can save money by using what we have already in our wardrobe. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, good evening.
You all right?
And as women, we're so guilty of it, where we have a packed wardrobe and we look at it and say, I've got nothing to wear.
It's such a lie, isn't it?
I do it to myself. I caught myself the other day and I thought, actually, look at your wardrobes and just see that it is packed. And we kind of get stuck in getting the same old outfit and we wear it the same way with the same accessories, when actually by just taking one dress or one outfit, one suit, we can actually make so many different things with what we already have in our wardrobes. It's just about making use of it.
Do you know what I did, Lisa-Marie? A friend challenged me not to buy anything for myself in the month of October, so I couldn't buy any clothes, nothing at all. Apart from food. And I really thought, oh my gosh, I need to buy clothes for the show. I've got a sponsor for one day, but the other days I have to buy things for the show. I've worn everything already. I don't have anything. How am I going to do this? I was really like worried. But then I went to my wardrobe and I literally just exactly what you're saying now, just sort of by matching things with different things, the different scarves. And I actually got through the month without buying a thing. The only thing I got was a mascara. Which I really ran out of, but I actually got it on my points from my Boots card, my Boots Advantage card. So I didn't spend a penny on myself. So I actually did it a whole month. So
I know.
really
I mean, I'm so guilty. I am so guilty of that, but I do try to change things up. Sometimes it could just be that you've never thought of a particular outfit combination, or you're too scared to try something a little bit different, when actually it can look like you've got a whole new outfit and like you've bought something new. So I've just taken one particular dress, which was a bargain in itself anyway. I got this in Boxing Day sales last year from Oasis. Yeah, so they do, when their things are reduced, absolutely fantastic. So a shift dress is a basic style that fits absolutely everybody and anyone, and a really great colour. But also people could think, oh my gosh, it's so bright, then how can I change that up? Because if I wear it once, how can I then...
Everyone's going to know. How
can I wear it again? So just taking the dress just by itself, I mean, I've taken off whatever belt was on there, and already I've got four different, I'm going to put it on it, four different belts here, and already with each one, you can already change what you how you wear the dress. So tan with orange, it works great. A patent belt, again, another way to change it up. And one that's got gold embellishments with it, gold and orange, I really like together. So if you're just gonna wear it on its own, there you go. And again, what I've got here, which I will hold up to the camera, hope you can see it, just a pair of statement earrings, just to go with a dress like this, is another way to change it up. Easy already, just with doing it with just one way. And then, as we know, unfortunately, time is getting cold, so we can't wear things as we want to with all our long sleeves. Just pop these down here, so with all our short sleeves. So a shift dress by nature kind of is like, it can be like a 60s type feel. So already just by putting this long sleeve, wide sleeve, I should say, pussy bow blouse underneath it.
Oh, underneath?
Underneath.
Oh, okay.
And already then we've already changed up another outfit. The pussy bow would just go over the top of it, and already there. And some people might think, oh, I wouldn't think about wearing this. I'm not a fan of prints or things like that. That's why I've also then we've got this lace blouse here. So it's not just your boring black. We've got a bit of detail. And as we get into autumn, winter, things like the Victoriana type thing, that's going to come back again. And this is a blouse that I've had probably for about 2 years. So again, by keeping something, bring it back, don't throw it away. We have got these things in our wardrobe. And another way as well to just add a little bit of a fashion element. And again, I've had this for about a year. So just by putting this on here, we've already made 3 different outfits by something that's already in my wardrobe. And just to change it up, I mean, we all do. All women, we love shoes, right? So easy way to put these together. Shoe boots with this as well. We've already made another outfit, another way to wear it.
Could you wear these on top as well, though, these blouses? So you can just have sort of have a top and a skirt?
You could, but you'd want to show off the nature of this dress. You really want to be able to show it off. We'll show how you can layer it up in a second, because we're going to do it with blouses. But just a pair of statement heels, as you know with me.
She loves her heels.
The higher the better as far as I'm concerned. So just by putting another pair of platform courts with it, with them making another great outfit. So much more. Now, as you were saying about layering things on top of it, so then we can move on to things like tailoring. So as I said, I think it was in one of my first shows about basics, one thing that most people should have in their wardrobe is a black blazer. I've just chosen something different with a little tuxedo blazer because I have black blazers. But again, it's things about investing in things over time, because this as well is something I've had in my wardrobe.
And you could keep for ages, couldn't you?
Because you're going to wear it in so many different ways. I mean, today I'm putting it with this dress, but over jeans and heels, over anything. It's just a little bit more special, as I said, with because it's more of a tuxedo blazer. So again, I can actually change that over there. By putting this on top of the on top of the dress, we've already then got another really outfit.
Nice.
And then if I take it up a notch, just by adding some statement jewellery over the top, again, we're already making another statement. So by just doing this, adding a nice pair of heels.
There you go, lovely.
Simple. And that's just by doing, as I said, just what we've got in our wardrobe. For those people who then like a bit of a shorter jacket, I've chosen this one with a little bit of embellishment then over the top. So again, we're adding some kind of depth to the outfit. And obviously we've got a matching pair of shoes that go with that. Now, when we're talking about getting bargains. These shoes were an absolutely amazing bargain. They are Guess shoes and I bought them on eBay. So the retail price was £95. I paid £1.30 plus about £4 postage and packaging.
How much, sorry?
£1.30.
Are you serious?
On eBay.
Oh my goodness.
So again, some people like to think that you can't get anything on eBay, especially if you're not used to actually doing that. I've bought Karen Millen dresses on eBay that are like £200 in the shops for £50 with the tags on. I'm talking brand new, so not just things that are pre-worn, but also things that are brand new. So it's about shopping around, because everyone loves to have nice things, wear designer clothes. You just might not have that budget. But if you actually do it a bit differently, you can get all these kind of clothes for a fraction of the price. It's just about shopping around.
Wow,
Same as on the high street.
Really nice. Let's have a look. These are gorgeous.
Yeah, hadn't been worn.
What size are you?
Sorry, it's too big for you.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Hang on, hang on.
Size 8.
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit. I can stick something in there. It'd be nice.
But it's just a bargain shoe, and there's so many more things that I like that you just have to shop around for it. Now, another way to wear this dress, and this is by thinking outside of the box, because some people might think, okay, I can do all that, but then again, once I've worn it, what else am I actually then going to be able to do with it? So on the end, you see, I have a skirt. And this is how I did wear this outfit not so long ago. So all I did was I wore the skirt underneath the dress.
Oh, serious?
So
that's something I wouldn't have thought of doing. That is
so
clever.
by layering up.
Yeah.
And then I just also put this over the top of it, wore it with this, had a nice black clutch bag, and I think I actually wore it with these platform shoes. And another way to wear a dress, it looks like I've bought another dress wearing layers underneath it, but actually it's just by putting a black skirt underneath it, and I've got a brand new dress.
Now, could you also do it the other way around? To have like an orange top and a black skirt, maybe?
You could, if you want. You could, but then you could also just do that with any kind of top. But you can do that to change up the dress, because all you would need to do is just put a belt over the top, like that. Probably in a different colour, maybe like a gold to go with that. And then again, as long as you're hiding the join, you can actually make it any way that you actually want to. So what I would actually encourage everyone to do is actually go through your wardrobe and actually do this like when you've got a lot of times, like a Saturday afternoon maybe, and actually go through it and see all the different outfit combinations that you can make. And when you
write them down or take pictures of them so you remember as well.
But the thing is, things like that actually then jog your memory in how to put things together. And then also when you do go out shopping, shop smart, because there's no point in you buying so many different things that you can't actually wear together.
And stuff as well.
Because all of these that I've got here, this would look nice with jeans as well as with another skirt, so you can wear it in the office, you can wear it going out. All of the things that I've got here, it's all interchangeable. So there's no point buying things and keeping it in your wardrobe that you can only wear once in a blue moon. You need to be able to put these things together and put different outfits together. And you don't have to spend loads of money on it at all.
It's true. Do you know what? I actually really enjoyed, I really thought the month was going to be terrible not being able to buy anything, but I actually enjoyed the challenge of going to my wardrobe and trying to find different combinations. And that's obviously, some people think they're not creative, but if you're actually kind of forced to, if you set yourself a challenge, actually, why don't you do it for this month if you want? Maybe challenge our viewers not to spend any money on clothes or shoes or anything, just for the month, and see what outfits you can come up with. Because you maybe think you're not creative. I didn't think I was very creative, but then I found out when push comes to shove, actually I think everyone has a bit of creativity in them, and you can all sort of do something to save money.
And also something that I would suggest to people as well, a lot of stores do personal shopping services and they are free. You don't have to buy anything from them. It's just another way for you to think of different things that you don't normally try. There can be different trends out there that you, as I said before, you already have them in your wardrobe. Every single year when it comes to Christmas, they're going to dress it up a different way, but normally it's the same trend come back round again. There's only so many different ways. For example, you can do a little black dress and so many different ways you can package it, but they will bring it out year after year. Most people will have these things in their wardrobe. It's just about how you change it up and how you wear it. So it's like I said before, I've had it for like over 2 years, but every single year they will bring a Victoriana or a lace type trend every single year. And I can wear it as many times as I want to.
You can also customise your clothes as well. You can buy little things, beads and things to sew on. You can can do all that stuff as well to kind of spruce it up.
John Lewis has a great haberdashery department, and I remember I went to a wedding not so long ago in St Lucia, but the dress that I had, it didn't fit properly around the waist. It had, I think it had one nice ruffle on one shoulder, but the other side looked like it was a bra strap, which I didn't like. So I went to the store. I got a couple of pieces of material, one for around the waist, one to go over there, and everyone loved the dress, but no one would have been able to buy it because it was made to how I wanted it. So, I'm messing with my mic. It was made to how I wanted it to look, and so just by thinking a bit more creatively and outside of the box, I created a brand new outfit for myself.
Wow, it's really so interesting. It's a challenge, isn't it? But it's good.
We can all do it. Seriously, everyone should do that. Go back to your wardrobes, have a look at different outfit combinations, and then see what you can do.
Lisa-Marie, thank you so much for that.
No problem.
And you'll be joining us again next week.
I will be here.
Some more tips. Okay, so there you have it. That was our thrifty show today. So I hope you enjoyed it and you got a lot of benefit out of it. And, you know, living, as we heard from our guests as well today, living on a budget or thrifty living doesn't mean that you're a miser, that you don't want to spend money, that you're stingy in any way. You're just using your brain. You're being wise, right? Okay, so do have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and the Chrissy B Show, we're back again on Monday. Bye-bye for now.